A much improved performance was a low bar, but Liverpool cleared it with room to spare. Rising to the occasion of the Merseyside derby, Jurgen's side looked far more like its old self, and made the most of its moments to ease away to victory. It was a high-stakes derby, albeit in unusual circumstances. Liverpool was looking to capitalise on dropped points from rivals to revive its faint hopes of a finish in the Champions League places, while Everton sought to climb out of the relegation zone and build up some much-needed momentum under new manager Sean Dyche. Given all that, it always felt as though it could come down to fine margins. Sure enough, Liverpool broke the deadlock just 18 seconds after a corner from which Everton had struck the post, breaking at pace and then benefiting from Jordan Pickford's inopportune decision to go and man mark at the back post instead of guarding the goal. In truth, though, that was a rare opening for Everton, and Liverpool seemed to systematically crank up the heat on the visitors. A second goal shortly after half-time more or less wrapped up the contest, bringing home a precious 3 points. Here are the 4 things spotted as the game unfolded. No fear from Bajcetic. Stefan Bajcetic undoubtedly earned his place for this fixture. But on commentary for Sky Sports, admitted that he had initially harbored some doubts about the teenager's physicality in terms of dealing with the intensity of the derby. Those fears were quickly dispelled. Bajcetic snapped into his first tackle early on, and it set the tone. He got through the whole game without having committed a foul, but having won the ball back numerous times, repeatedly snuffing out counter-attacking threats and putting Liverpool on the attack. But while it was his brilliance out of possession that really rubber-stamped his coming-of-age performance, a couple of moments with the ball showed he is certainly not lacking for confidence. The first was an ambitious half-volley from well outside the box. Bajcetic did actually control it very well, even getting it on target, but it would have gone down as one of the best ever goals in this storied fixture. The second, which some may have missed, actually came off. It was an audacious flick over his own head in the middle of the park. The ball was behind him, but his piece of improvisation kept it moving, setting Liverpool on another break. He is really starting to look like the complete package, and the way he approached this derby will make it even harder to drop him anytime soon. The manager recently said the youngster was ready, and he has been proved emphatically right. Robertson's laughter. Is there anything more enjoyable than winding up Jordan Pickford? Apparently not for Andy Robertson, who was at the heart of the customary derby flashpoint. It all started with a great piece of pressure, charging down a Seamus Coleman clearance as eagerly as if it were the first minute. Unfortunately for Robertson, it struck his hand, and the whistle was blown. But as he rushed on through, he saw fit to kick the ball away from Pickford. He obviously can't have heard the whistle. A bit of gamesmanship, undoubtedly, but Pickford has some nerve to get worked up about that. The ultimate purveyor of the dark arts, even it has not helped Everton much this season, he reacted angrily to the incident. Robertson's response? Laughing heartily in his face. Cue a something over nothing melee, with even the bench getting involved. While the official party line is that nobody wants to see it, in truth it put the icing on the cake. It completed the derby checklist. Gakpo brings out Van Dijk celebration. There have been a million valid criticisms to throw at Liverpool recently. As such, it's even more ridiculous that Gakpo has found himself scapegoated in some quarters. The new signing has come into unfortunate circumstances, to say the least. Not only has he joined a struggling side, he was seemingly signed in lieu of a midfielder in the January transfer market, heaping far more pressure onto his head. No goals or assists in his first 5 games has therefore seen him come under highly premature pressure. But he had an answer for the critics in the best possible fixture, opening his Liverpool account against Everton. In doing so, he emulated Virgil van Dijk. And he copied his compatriot with his celebration too, bringing out the trademark hand under the chin gesture to mark his first goal for the club. Prior to the match, he hoped to do exactly the same as his teammate by scoring in the derby, and he delivered emphatically. Liverpool fans will now hope he can set about emulating impact at the club. Despite what some people would have had you believe, there is still plenty of time for him to do exactly that. A mix from it was 8 minutes that summed up S dilemma. The Liverpool game plan could have been undone almost right from the start, when Joel horribly misjudged a clearance and let Ellis Sims through on goal. It was the error of a man massively short on confidence. But moments later, it was striding forward, expertly using the overlap as a decoy before feeding it to the underlapping Salah. It carved out the first big chance of the game for Liverpool. And that was all before the 10-minute mark. From that moment on, was routinely in place as a deep-lying playmaker, channeling his past as a defensive midfielder to stride up the pitch, recycle second balls and keep Liverpool on the front foot. He was a clear asset. And that, in a nutshell, is the problem poses at the moment. He has made an error leading to a shot in each of the last 3 league games, having only made 2 in the previous 104, hat tip to for that stat. That provides some much-needed context, but also paints a picture of a player affected more than most by the team's overall downturn. Yet he remains so dangerous in an offensive sense. Overall, having got away with the error, will reflect positively on his decision to keep the faith with, who recovered to produce some assured defensive moments where necessary, as well as his contributions going forward. Barcelona handed limited priority over Liverpool transfer target as Jurgen makes vow.